여러분 반갑습니다.
Welcome everyone. Nice to meet you. As you have probably heard in my introduction, I graduated from the Korea Military Academy in 1972 and finished my degree in economics at Seoul National University in 1976. After a little field service, I was appointed a professor. Then I graduated from Brown University in America and again graduated from Gyeongbuk National University. I worked as a professor of economics for 35 years at Korea Military Academy and Korea Army Academy. Working in public service for 40 years, I have a healthy pension, and I also have my own house. So I don't really need to work to maintain life. When I retired from the military, Chairman Han-gil Park asked me to work as Chief of Economic Research. I hesitated a lot because the perception of the network marketing system is generally very negative in our community. The theoretical concept of network marketing was first introduced in America by a professor at Harvard University. It's a very advanced marketing technique, but when it came to Korea, it became a method of fraud. If the marketing technique had enjoyed a positive social understanding, few of you would be seated here. Samsung, Hyundai, LG would have devoured everything. They have huge appetites. Yesterday in an economics newspaper, I found out a conglomerate even has a gas station business. How would those conglomerates not devour this great market? Everyone sitting here would probably be from Seoul National University. These positions were left for common citizens only because public perception was so bad at the time. I studied economics, so I can tell you that the best economic system created by mankind is the capitalist economic system in which we are living in right now. All the socialistically planned systems have failed. The USSR overthrown, there are some left, but they are struggling badly. Does that mean that this capitalist economy is flawless? Of course not. There are lots of problems. The most serious ones are employment and income distribution problems. And nations and societies are facing serious problems with providing security for the retired because the life expectancy of mankind is getting longer and longer. France is in panic because their pension fund is drying up. The French government is delaying the retirement age and pension payment by 2 years so people retire at 62 and start getting pension at 67. Right now they get pension at 65. So what will the retired do? Even all the students there are against it. The economic issues of retirement and income distribution are very serious. It's the same with our community. A series of problems are being raised, such as reconstruction, retirement, and unemployment. However, there aren't any great solutions. The reason that we cannot find a solution is because in the past, when there were labor-intensive economic development and capital-intensive economic development, factory after factory was built to meet demands, therefore increasing employment. And when employment increases, income distribution is not a problem because wages are paid. But now, even if the production of a business increases, employment doesn't increase because the production is leaning more and more towards technology-intensive growth and capital-intensive growth. That's because everything is becoming automated. This is a common issue in developed countries. It's all the same with Korea. I have been interested in this issue, how to solve the problems of employment and income distribution. All economists are concerned about these two issues. But economists are doing nothing but arguing. They say we have to take a third way. What is a third way? Professor Anthony Giddens, a socialist, published a book called The Third Way. Economists split into two sides, one for it and the other against it. They're just fighting each other, yes, no. Then the chairman of Atami, Han-gil Park, asked me to take the position as Chief of Economic Research. When I did some research, I found out that this business method could solve both of these problems at the same time. I also came to know that the motto of the company says, cherish the soul and follow the faith. From the motto only, I was worried that people were members of an ascetic group deep in the mountains. But they were really operating according to their slogan. So I determined to help this company with my advice so that it can develop and be able to help in solving the problems of our country's economic issues and the modern economy as a whole.
일반적으로
Generally, there is something called a value. Value can be classified into two. One is intrinsic value, and the other instrumental value. The intrinsic value can be described as that the value itself becomes a goal. For example, human life, love, truth, virtue, beauty, faith, sympathy, mercy, modesty, happiness. All of these are intrinsic value. This intrinsic value is a long-term value. Regardless of religion and skin color, and throughout all ages and countries, when we recognize something as being valuable, it is intrinsic value. Instrumental value is what we seek just for our own benefits. For example, money, power, property, rich life, comfort, economical efficiency and effectiveness. All of these are instrumental value. This kind of instrumental value is subjective and short-term. In other words, everyone assesses the value differently. For example, some people define rich life as having good food to eat and having good clothes to wear, while clergymen, philosophers, and ascetics consider those valueless. Accordingly, this instrumental value is different to each person. Even for one particular person at a certain time, he may highly value money, power, status, good life. But once he grows old, these things may not matter to him anymore. Earlier, you shouted the company's motto. The motto of Atomy is composed of intrinsic values: soul, human, faith, humility. In other words, as a means to seek intrinsic value, Atomy operates with instrumental value. What Atomy offers you is instrumental value. The instrumental value is that of absolute products and absolute system. In other words, Atomy is offering this instrumental value to you so that you can obtain intrinsic value. The intrinsic value Atomy is ultimately seeking for is the intrinsic value of balanced life. In order to lead a balanced life, we inevitably need instrumental value. The balanced life Atomy wants is to have economic freedom, to learn what we want to learn, to love my family and neighbors, to contribute to the community, to not only live happily myself, but moreover, to contribute to society. This is a balanced life. Atomy offers you absolute products and an absolute system as an instrument or instrumental value for you to obtain this balanced life. Chairman Park and the other speaker will explain to you in detail what the absolute products and the absolute system are. Then can we succeed only with the instruments of absolute products and absolute system? Never, it's not that easy. A businessman can never succeed if he doesn't invest what he would consider absolute time. We can never succeed doing nothing. There is nothing free in the world. There are a lot of persimmons hanging on the tree, but not a single persimmon falls into your mouth when you just wait with your mouth wide open under the tree. Maybe some will fall, but not into your mouth, but instead on your eyes. To pick the tasty persimmons hanging on the tree, you have to climb up on a ladder. You can never eat one if you just lie under the tree. The persimmons are the absolute products that Atomy offers to you, and the ladder is the absolute system that Atomy offers to you. No one can climb the ladder for you. You have to climb up yourself to pick them. If someone does not want to take the trouble to climb the ladder, then what can you do? Cannot force someone to do something that he doesn't want. But when you start climbing the ladder, there's someone pulling you at the pants. He tries to prevent you from climbing. He keeps doing it. What is that? Who keeps pulling you down? It's pride. Your pride keeps on pulling you down. Pride is usually based on the past. I graduated from Seoul National University. The guy who's trying to recruit me graduated from a no-name college. I graduated from Seoul National University. And I used to be an executive at a large company. I was a manager, a deputy manager. How could I do business with these nobodies? I'd rather starve to death. Atami offers you an opportunity to be rich and successful. It doesn't make you rich. Atami has made the persimmons sweet and offers you a ladder for you to climb up the tree. But it doesn't climb up to pick any persimmons for you. It can't be done like that. You yourself have to do it. Last time I mentioned a little about the great Russian writer Tolstoy. The last book that he wrote is called Wise Thoughts for Every Day. It says not wise thoughts for days already past, but its purpose is to prepare for the days ahead. He has written on the short preface, "This is the book that I have expressed my love deeply to human beings." It's the last book he wrote just before he died. In this book there are 3 questions. When is the most important time to you? What is the most important work to you? And who is the most important person to you? 3 questions. Tolstoy's answers are, the most important time to you is now. The most important work to you is the work you are doing now. And the most important person to you is the person you are seeing now. Likewise, if we don't value the present, the life of the future will be the same as that of the past. A good high school student studies the right book in the right class. He studies English in English class, math in math class, Korean in Korean class. But a poor student looks into an English book in math class. He studies a math book in English class. He doesn't do the appropriate thing at a given time. According to Tolstoy, for you the most important time is now. The most important work is to listen to this lecture, and the most important person is the lecturer. The most important people to the lecturer are all of you here. You're probably really sleepy because you came so early. In the library at Harvard University, there's a famous phrase. It says, "Now drips the saliva, will become tomorrow the tear." Harvard University students are not dumb. I have no idea why they drip saliva. Anyways, the present is the most important. The past is not important. It doesn't matter what I did in the past. I am acquainted with some guys who are pretty powerful. That's because I used to be a public official for about 40 years. But that's not important. My mission is to help those in need. Those who try so hard, but always fail to get a job. Those who always try new businesses, but always fail. People in severe debt, but have long days ahead to live. I always try to find a way to help them, because I had the grace from the government for 40 years. I have to pay it back before I die. There won't be anyone among you people that say, "I'm like this because I'm lazy." You probably worked your tails off, however it still didn't work. It was not because you were incompetent or lazy, but because you were unlucky. The luck is the environment. You haven't met that kind of environment. The Atami system is a way to create a new model of network marketing. So it is different from other existing networks. The society's negative perception may actually be better for the company because Atami is creating a new system of network. Please don't remind yourselves what happened in the past. No matter who asked you to come and see, you are here regardless. That has become an opportunity. That has become luck.
여기에 가보자고 해서 왔는데 그것이 찬스가 됐고 재수가 됐습니다.
An unlucky guy will have his nose broken even when he falls backwards,
코가 깨지고
while a lucky guy slips under a beauty skirt even when he slips on cow dung.
치마 밑으로 넘어진다고. 여러분들은 재수 좀
Luckily, you have somehow fallen under the skirt of a Tommy.
넘어졌습니다.
This is the chance and the opportunity you have been waiting for. So before the god of opportunity runs away, just grab his front hair to achieve success and economic freedom. Thank you very much.